I want to revisit this question of constitutionality that the chairman brought up. So far during this administration, the president couldn't get cap and trade passed, so he had the EPA come up with a finding of endangerment on CO2. Couldn't get the DREAM Act passed, so he decided not to enforce immigration laws. Decided unilaterally that the Defense of Marriage Act is not constitutional, even though Supreme Court made no decision. And then more recently, when Stimulus 2.0 couldn't even be passed in a Democrat-controlled Senate, he decided to come up with a housing bailout and a student loan bailout. My constituents are becoming increasingly angry that the president is making all the laws and all the legislations and creating all the rules. Now, what does that have to do with our topic today? Well, if you go to the White House website on this very issue of spatial planning, and you ask for what is the legal authority, and we can find none. It's just extremely vague. And so, like the chairman, I'm waiting, for a very concise, specific answer and result on what is the legal authority to have the spatial planning. So I'll leave that question floating because I know it's been asked and you're going to be getting back to us on that. So I'll go to another question. Chair Sutley, you made the comment, and I want to get clarification to be sure, that nothing in this would restrict activity in the oceans. Am I correct about that?
Yes, sir.
Well, at our previous hearing, we had a gentleman named Mark Gorlnick of the Coastside Fishing Club who shared how devastating marine spatial planning can be for recreational anglers who have fished off the shores of the California coastline for generations. What I believe is most alarming is the lack of science used in the zoning process. And so it seems to me that there is quite a bit of concern. And again, it begs the question, if it would not restrict activity, why even go through this process? Why do the zoning if it doesn't have an ultimate purpose?
Thank you, Congressman. Let me make a couple of comments. First of all, we recognize that recreational fishing is an important activity that takes place in the ocean and other places, in that often recreational fishermen are some of the best stewards of the ocean resources, and so we were grateful to have them participate in the formulation of this policy, in our public meetings, and look forward to their continued participation in this process. I think the purpose of the coastal marine spatial planning, and it's not zoning in the sense that it restricts uses or specifies uses or restricts uses, but it's a way to share information early on, up front, to ensure that science is being used to understand what are the uses.
Because my time is limited, I want to kind of break through to the bottom line here. So you're saying, absolutely, bottom line, that there will be no restriction of use whatsoever under this spatial planning process?
We do not think that's the result of that. The existing authorities that
is that a yes or a no?
That's I'm sorry, I remember the way you asked the question. We don't believe, no, it will not restrict uses.
So the answer is no, it will not. Okay. Dr. Lubchenco, you made the statement that this would ensure balanced uses. Can you explain what that means?
Certainly, Congressman Fleming. The National Ocean Policy does not create any new regulations. It's not zoning. It empowers states and regional bodies to consider the uses, to define how they want to have oceans off their shores used. So it does not, it empowers a bottom-up process for defining uses. No states are required to participate in this process.
Well, again, I'm running out of time. I apologize for interrupting you. So if it empowers someone to make a decision to divide uses, then wouldn't that by definition restrict activity?
It is a planning process. It's not zoning. Just like on land, we have planning commissions separate from zoning commissions. It says, this is how we would like to have, to avoid conflicts, to ensure that people who want to participate in different activities have certainty, they can plan, they have predictability, and it really is a bottom-up effort that focuses on balancing the often conflicting interests and
I appreciate
jurisdictions.
your response. I'm running out of time. To me, that's the same thing as restricting activity. I don't see how you can do one without the other.